Hello, friends. This is Stacy Sade, and you are listening to the Annestasis podcast, where we talk about life transformations that happen after a relocation. And today I have the great pleasure of having a conversation, not even an interview, with someone that I get to work with all the time, which is great. And I want to introduce everybody to Sharon Johnson. Sharon?
Hello, everyone. This is Sharon.
Sharon is a good friend, but she's also, more than that, she's a team leader with the company Annestasis. So it's a twofold kind of conversation. One is I want to find out about Sharon, personal moves, different things, different way her life has been transformed through a move. And the second thing I want to talk about is kind of what we see out in the field when we help people relocate. What is our experience kind of coming from the outside perspective looking in? And so we want to talk about those things. We're going to take a break for just a minute, and then we're going to come back and talk to Sharon Johnson, team leader with Annestasis, retired teacher extraordinaire. And we want to find out all about what's been going on in her life and her transformative moves.
Blues in the Basement. Blues in the Basement.
I was born in 71, so that was kind of the year that all of Al Green's hits starting to pop off.
Blues in the Basement on the Kazukian Network.
Okay, we're back, and we're going to be talking to Sharon Johnson. So, Sharon, this is what I want to do. I know that in my time that I've known you, you've moved a couple of times.
Yes.
And they've had their own story. I'm going to let you choose one or two and talk to me about kind of a move that you've made that has transformed your life.
Well, Stacy, let's talk about when after I got married. We'll do that move. As you know, well, before I got married, I was divorced and I moved back home with my mom. And for the longest, I teased my mom. I was like, I am never leaving your side again. But of course, I ended up getting married and we moved into a house. Something different. I really wasn't expecting it. It was like being brand new all over again, buying furniture, cleaning it up, making it our space, and making it comfortable, making it feel like a home. One of the things I can definitely say about this transition, and I'm going to kind of tie it in together, working with Annestasis, is I have found myself thinking more about the future of the home. I don't expect this home to, go to my children. I don't expect them wanting the house because I know my children have their own lives, their own growing families, and they're going to do their own thing. The space, I decided that is small enough, but yet it's big enough for the two of us. And of course, we have the dogs. The backyard is large enough for the dogs.
Absolutely. The fur babies.
Yes, the fur babies. But I'm enjoying it. I find myself kind of decorating now because I told you in the beginning, I am not a decorator.
I heard you say that. I do remember you saying that.
And I find myself maximizing my space.
Mm.
And when I start doing that, I think about a lot of the clients that we've had, how they downsize. And it's like having to relearn, how to use the space that you have, what's been given to you. Mm-hmm. And I'm appreciating it. I realize I don't have to have this gigantic home, the 5,000, 4,000 square foot home, to make it actually feel like I'm at home. To make it feel like when you come in that you're loved, appreciated. I am just taking it all in, I look at the clients and I think of, what is my future going to be like? Because I wonder sometimes, once they move into that home, did they once think about their future, what it would really be like? Mm-hmm. And that's what I find myself doing as well, thinking about what is the future going to be like for me and my husband and the dogs in this home, in this space.
That is so interesting. So to give some historical kind of, a background and let you know kind of where Sharon is, Sharon and I both have almost adult, young adult children. And so they really are making their way toward a new life. Mm-hmm. And this is the midpoint move for you. And what I hear you saying is that you guys are looking at it with a different set of eyes. So instead of filling it with everything that you love mm-hmm. and thinking not much further past 10, maybe 20 years, mm-hmm. you just want to make it great. What you're saying, or what I hear you saying, is that you're actually looking at it not only for today, but what it will look like when you don't want it.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Being able to maximize that space. That is so interesting. And talk to me, because you've had both with the move to your mother's house, when you love to joke about that, and this house, your life has changed. And those are the stories we love to capture, is the transformation stories. Talk to me about what, above and beyond decorating the house, what has it produced as far as life is concerned? What's been reborn in you?
Oh my gosh, what's been reborn in me? Colors. Mm-hmm. I have always, and my sister has always gotten on me about this. I have always been that person to go with like a tan, something very neutral, and that would be it. Mm-hmm.
Yes, very safe.
Yes, safe colors. And she'd be like, there are other colors in the crayon box. So I am learning to appreciate colors. Although my walls are still kind of bland, but I'm not a big fan of red. Mm-hmm. But I am taking in different colors and learning how to use it, make it look nice, warm, which I really like that feeling, that warm, fuzzy feeling in the home. So I am trying not to be afraid of colors anymore.
That's exciting. So it's kind of reinvigorating kind of an artistic flair.
Yes. Because, and to tie in with the clients, I see their homes and I'm like, I can do something like this. Mm-hmm. And I never really thought about doing it because I wanted to be in that safe space. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But now I'm like, I'm letting my hair down, Stacey.
Well, I love that. What about as far as career? I know that you had a couple of different career changes based after moves. What did that look like?
Let's see. Well, I was teaching.
Yes, and you went back to school to do that, correct?
Yes, I went back to school to wrap up the master's degree. Mm-hmm. Teaching was not something I thought I would actually get into. Mm-hmm. But once I got into it, to me, teaching was very challenging.
Yes. Did it feel that way when you were going to school? Did you feel that it was going to be the same?
To me, when it comes to school, I absolutely I love education. Mm-hmm. I really do. I've always, even from a little girl, preschool, I have always enjoyed going to school. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to teaching, the part that I loved about it was when I was doing special education. Mm-hmm. And that is the part that really touched my heart. I mean, you have to have a big, compassionate heart. And it's kind of like working for Annestasis. You have to have a whole lot of compassion, not just for yourself, but for everyone else that you're around. And that is one of the things that I can definitely say teaching has instilled in me. You have to listen to people's stories so you can see how did they get to where they are now. And that, I mean, even with the students have stories to tell. And when you sit back and you listen to them, it builds rapport with them. It builds trust, and it builds friendship. And that is one of the things that I can say, I can kind of tie in also with working with Annestasis. The clients have stories to tell, and some of them can really be mind-blowing. Some of them are so heartfelt, and it's like, I understand. I really do understand how you got here, why you feel the way that you do now. But teaching, that it helps with what I'm doing now. As a matter of fact, when I was on the way here, driving my way over here, I was thinking, wow, I'm no longer, trying to school someone from a book. I actually feel like I'm the student when it comes to working with Annestasis, because the clients can tell us things that we didn't know, or they are giving us more information on top of things that we already know. Mm-hmm. And I take that to heart. So I feel like I'm in a space in my life now where I am actually helping people help themselves.
I love that. Do you think that you would have, let's say you stayed in the original house where you were and nothing changed. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the life that you have, the finishing the masters, the skills that you got in the teaching field, the skills that you're getting working with people downsizing, senior adults, things like that, do you think that those things would have happened in that same space where you were?
Probably not, Stacy. Mm-hmm. Probably not, because I tell people all the time, pay attention to the events happening in your life. Everything connects. Everything connects. So had I stayed still in that spot? No, definitely not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I'd just still be there. There's no growth.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Nothing would have changed. Safe colors, safe life, safe everything. That is so fascinating. And see, that's really what the Annestasis podcast is all about. It's just like, what was it about a move or a relocation that transformed your life and put you on a trajectory where you're helping people using some of the same skills that you actually were learning as you were finishing your master's in an unexpected way? Getting more bold with your artistic expression. What was it about the moves or was it the moves that kind of opened that up for you, lightened that up for you?
I think it just helps you it helps me to put fear on a back burner. I no longer have to be afraid.
That's powerful.
Have that faith that I can do this, and to have the ability to ask for help. Mm-hmm. I don't have to do this alone anymore.
Yes.
So that's my take on that one, Stacy.
Well, that is definitely powerful stuff. When we come back, I would love to talk to you some more about what we see in the field as far as people that we help and what their life looks like when we have the pleasure of circling back and seeing what they're doing now. And we'll talk about those things in just a minute. When you come back to the Annestasis podcast, we will continue our conversation with Sharon Johnson, team leader of Annestasis. Back in a minute.
This is a journey.
Let me take you on a journey.
There will still be the journey.
The journey.
New sheriff. When you leave this planet, leave it in a better shape than you found it.
Right.
And that's kind of how we live.
Watch The Journey on the Kadzukian Network.
Okay, everybody, We are still having a chat with our good friend Sharon Johnson. And what the direction, Sharon, you've been so transparent as far as your own personal moves. So let's talk about, from your perspective, what we're seeing out as we help people transform their lives and downsize. What do you see as far as, we'll follow the same template. What are the events that you observe most of the time that precede these, them picking up the phone and saying, hey, we need help from Annestasis? What type of life events? Like health, their health has changed, their children are asking them, things like that?
I definitely see their health changing, especially this one particular couple, and their lives changing with as far as a spouse passing away, and children have moved away as well. And they are here alone. I am seeing quite a bit of that.
Gotcha.
I know one couple, I was speaking with the wife and I asked her, I said, was it your dream that someday your children, or at least one of your children, would want this house to keep it in the family? And she was like, yeah, that's what I thought. But they aren't living in Memphis. They're not living in Tennessee.
Right.
The grandchildren aren't here.
Exactly.
And they had to change plans. The whole trajectory of their lives changed.
Interesting. So those are some of the events that we definitely see where their health is changing, or a life circumstance, the death of a spouse, and the reality that kids are no longer even in the city. And so here we are with the same space that we've had for,
50 years
plus.
Yes.
I mean, really, truly plus. At the absolute minimum, 20. I mean, at the minimum. And
yes.
That is definitely what we're seeing. And what I love is that, again, just like you were talking about, asking for help, doing it together. What has been your experience about when they pick up and call our company? What are some of the things that we're doing with and for them that you feel like are really beneficial?
The decluttering part, I feel, is extremely beneficial. One of the things I've definitely seen is that a lot of the items that we help them declutter, a lot of those things had gotten buried into the homes, and it was things that they weren't using anymore, things that they hadn't seen in a while. But once we began to declutter, it triggers some memories in them, but some of those memories aren't even worth keeping. And they're like, I don't need that anymore. And that's a freeing experience. It really is. And that's the part I like. I really do, that they're able to let go of some things that they know, this isn't that important to me anymore. And I feel like just as adults ourselves, there's some things we need to let go like that as well. But I love the decluttering part, especially when they're able to do it on their own. Yeah, to me, that's a grown-up move right there. It truly is. You have figured out that life is important, but there's some tangible things that just aren't that important that you can live without. Memories, you can definitely hold on to your memories. No one's going to take that from you. So I think the clients learning how to declutter, especially on their own, is a huge step forward into their new lives.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what I found? I was just at somebody's house. This just tripped a memory over the weekend. So it's somebody that was 10, 15 years younger than I am and was redoing just a closet. I mean, a sizable closet, a walk-in closet, a lot of fantastic clothes and things like that. And this is what she said, and I think it's 100% true. She said she could not declutter without me being there. And it's not that I'm magical. It's the fact that there was another person that gave her the encouragement and the ability to make choices. She said, if you weren't here, I wouldn't be doing this. And I get that. I really do. I get that. It's almost as if, and that's why I told her, we were never made to do this alone.
Right.
We weren't made that way.
Right. I tell people if we were meant to do life alone, we would all be living inside our own individual bubbles.
100%.
We wouldn't need anybody.
Yeah. Absolutely. So to call a company like ours, and there's, great ones around the country and things like that, but to call in some help and say, this is going to be difficult and I could use an extra set of hands, but also a presence and maybe some decision making, especially on that declutter piece. I think that is so solid. And then we also, are meeting people when, let's say they've done that, but they want us to pack.
Yes.
What are your takeaways on that? What is that looking like as far as people are concerned?
The packing part is pretty interesting. Now, it's pretty simple when the client isn't there and they have already shown us what they need packed. We're able to do that, swiftly, quickly. However, when the client is there in the presence while we're packing, some of them, you can actually see it on their faces. You can see the sadness. Gosh, and that part kind of hurts. And you try to, and even in the process of us packing, we try to uplift them.
Absolutely.
We really do, because we see, we hear, and even when they're not saying actual words, we still hear it.
Yeah.
So that packing portion is, oh my gosh, that's a double-sided portion right there of what we're doing.
I think we really offer a lot of value helping somebody do that, because when you see the sadness, it's usually because that's difficult and it's real. Once the boxes are pulled out, the process becomes very real. Oh my gosh, we really are moving. Oh my gosh, we really are going there.
Yes. And then to actually, it's kind of like, I don't know if this is right to say, but it's kind of like a live death. And they see us packing it. They hear the boxes being folded, and they hear the tape being ripped and stripped. They hear all of that, and it impacts them. However, on the other side of it, now a lot of them may not be at their new homes when we're unpacking, but once they get to their new home and they see what we've done, that's where that rebirth comes in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So after we help declutter and pack and get the logistics of it all together, and they would rather, the stress of it is enough. And for us to be able to take a few of the mundane items off their list, I think is so helpful. So I've certainly seen it. I would love your take on it. What does it look on the other side when we've run back into people that we have helped? What are you seeing?
They are so grateful. And to see the smiles on their faces, and it's like a child on Christmas Day. They are so grateful for what we have done for them. Moving into their new space, initially they could not fathom it, but once it's done, they're like, thank you. And you can feel that, you hear it, you see it, their eyes just light up. I like that part.
Yes. Well, that's yeah.
They didn't think it was going to be possible. And you hear a lot of that too. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. It's like, yeah, we did that for you.
Yeah. And they did it. It's huge. I think it's, I agree with you. Seeing them on that first reveal, I think is huge. I love to go back, and sometimes we have the luxury of family calling us back, or we're going back, and I'm doing it actually this week, where somebody said, just a few more things, let's do a few more things. And what I see is them living a more energized life.
Yes.
We forget how draining it is to be over-resourced.
Mm.
It is energy draining to have more than we need, more than we use.
Yeah.
And it's life-giving to have less and to be in that space. I'm pretty sure I told my mother this story. I think it was. But what I said is that why is it that we enjoy staying in hotels so much? Because our things aren't there. We've got just enough that we need for whatever the amount of time that we're going to be there. And we have got energy to tour and to see and to go and do. You know why? Because when we get back home, there's not that long list of things to do. There's not that closet to open that we just, there's not the memory of that attic that needs so much done. There's so many demands from a home that is got over-resourced. And I see people just free.
Yeah.
Free to live, free to do new things.
Yes. And free to do new things. That is one of the things I am seeing with the clients. When they are in their new communities, they can make new friends. They can do new activities, attend new events that had they still been in their home, their original home, they probably would not have ever done.
No.
Taken part of. Yeah.
No, because, it's a big thing to sign up for a class at even the community center and then think about the logistics of getting there. Frankly, I do that. I'll sign up for something at the library that I really want to go to, but when it comes down to the day and the time, and I can think of 15 excuses why not to go.
Exactly.
They
can walk out of their door and take a walk, a nice brisk walk around their new community. A safe walk at that.
Yeah. 100%. And you, again, back to your story, you're living the same story.
Mm-hmm.
You've started exploring colors. You've started decorating with new vim and vigor. You're creating a new life. And that all happens because we're living somewhere new, and it's got a fresh perspective.
Yes, it does.
I love that. Well, we have been amazingly blessed with some lovely people that are living just really good lives on the other side of a painful process of moving. There's no getting around it. We do everything we can to make it as cheerful and positive as possible, but there's no getting around the fact that it's hard work and it's draining work and it's a thing. But on the other side of it, gosh, it gets so good. And I love to see the smiles on people that we've helped before.
Yes.
I know it's also worth it.
Yes, it is.
Well, Sharon, I know that your children are so grateful about this new season of life that you're living. I know that they're so grateful that you're thinking about them now for what will occur 20 years from now. You've got a mother that is in poor health and at the moment, and an absolute powerhouse of a human being on her normal day.
Yes.
But you're experiencing firsthand what it looks like to be the child. And I see you thinking about your children with a fresh set of eyes of this is not homestead. This is not the house that we're going to be passing down from one generation to the next. Then how can I have fun with it and create a warm atmosphere and then be ready to let it go when the time is right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And not having, to leave a lot behind. I feel like the space I'm in now, I don't have to have much, but the few items that I do have, they do, it do mean a little something to me, but it's not something that I'm so attached to that I can't let it go when the time comes.
Yeah. I think that's just a great life lesson to have a little bit of distance between us and our things so that we're not so attached to them that we can't let them go when the time is right.
Yes.
Well, Sharon, I appreciate your working with us at Annestasis. I appreciate your time and your story and all the light and the love that you share with us and the people that we help.
Stacy, thank you so much. I mean, I would not be here had you not asked me.
Well, I'm so grateful. Thank you for spending your day with us and telling your stories and about the people that we help. And for the listeners, thank you, friends, for joining us today to listening to more stories about how relocation can create life transformation. We're so grateful. At the Annestasis podcast. You can find us at Annestasis, ANNESTASIS.com. The podcasts are listed on that website or anywhere else that you can find podcasts. Please follow us and subscribe because we've got many more stories to tell on this journey. Thank you for being here, and we will see you soon.